The biggest storm surge for 60 years has forced more than 2,000 people from their homes and caused millions of pounds worth of damage. From the southern coast of Essex to North Wales, homeowners and businesses are counting the cost of last night's storm, and tonight around 110,000 people are still without power. Here in Wells, next to the sea on the Norfolk coast, and in scores of coastal towns and villages, the clear-up has begun. But as Jason Farrell reports, for some the damage has taken away their homes for good.
Hemsby in Norfolk, a coastal community destroyed. The couple who owned this two-bedroom bungalow were in the property as the kitchen started to break away. Stephen and Jackie Connolly have lived here 7.5 years and recently nearly sold the place, but the buyers pulled out.
It's insured for storm damage, and it's insured for fire and everything else, even insured for an earthquake. Yeah. But in small writing at the bottom it's got not covered for coastal erosion, so I don't know if we get away with it as a storm or whether they're going to.
So you don't know yet whether you're going to get that?
No. All our paperwork at the moment.
Everything is in there anyway.
Still in there.
Well, the Connollys aren't the only couple to have lost their home in last night's surge. This another of 5 properties that are clearly beyond repair, and all the properties along this stretch are at risk. More footage has emerged of storms raging on the west coast, here in Cumbria. And in Anglesey, this camerawoman gets a bit too close for her liking.
It's snowing. This is snowing.
But in the southeast, the Thames Barrier did its job protecting London from the biggest tide since its completion in 1982. The Environment Agency says evacuation plans and beefed up flood defences saved lives. A tidal surge of similar size in 1953 killed hundreds. In this instance, the damage was to property, but families are still struggling to come to terms with it.
Whilst probably the first few days are fine, but maybe in a few days and I sort of think, oh, I lost that, or I'm missing that, or that's broken. I think that's when it'll sink in, or when I'm having to buy new TVs, dishwashers, everything to replace what I've lost. That, I think, will be not so good. Many are hoping the worst is over, but the government suggests people heed warnings of more flooding into the weekend.
This is not over. There will still be exceptionally high tides today and tomorrow, and I would urge everybody to pay very close attention to advice from the Environment Agency, and also to follow instructions from the police, local government and the emergency services.
For most, it could have been much worse, but for some, this storm has taken the roof over their heads. Jason Farrell, Sky News, Norfolk.
Jason Farrell reporting there. Well, the situation has improved pretty dramatically since even this morning. These were the warnings in place earlier on today on coastal areas across the east and northwest of the UK after a night battling to hold back the tide. Hemsby in Norfolk was particularly badly hit, with houses washed into the sea. 9,000 people in the area were evacuated from their homes, mostly in Great Yarmouth. Blakeney